Let's see how to run an embedded Tomcat. And for that, go to your app class, the main method, delete everything that's inside, and then simply write new Tomcat. That's all you need to do. And you can extract a variable, and one line later, you do a Tomcat start, which throws an exception, which you don't want to handle now, because if Tomcat fails starting, then you just want to abort the whole main method, which is fine. But for now, Tomcat.start is everything you need to get an embedded Tomcat up and running. What you might want to do though is, before you start Tomcat, you might want to set a port to port 8080. In the Java world, 8080 is the default for all web applications, but you could also put port 9000 here, port 10,000, doesn't really matter. 8080 is a fine default port. And now simply run the application to see if that is already enough to get a working web server. When you look at the console, you see that Tomcat started. Other than that, it's just 2 lines, so not too much happened. Let's go to a browser, localhost 8080, and see what happens. Localhost 8080, and as you can see, the request times out. The site can't be reached, localhost refused to connect. Very important to have a look at that message. Explicitly, it says refuse to connect. So something is missing. It's not a 404 or 500, but the site can't be reached. And here I think it's a bit of a shame because the Tomcat API is a bit off. You need to call tomcat.getConnector, because for HTTP requests or HTTPS requests, you need a Tomcat connector which lets other people connect to your Tomcat. And by calling tomcat.getConnector, the connectors get initialized. It would be better to have a different name, but Tomcat getConnector hopefully does the trick. So now when you restart the application, you can already see again, you get a new firewall has blocked some features of this app message, allow access, which is fine for now. Now in your console, you can see that suddenly you've got an HTTP connector, port 8080, waiting for you, a couple of more lines. And when you go back now to your browser, hit 8080 again, you get a different message. The page isn't working. You get an HTTP error 500, which is perfect because it means your Tomcat is working just fine, but it doesn't know what to do with said requests. And that's what you're going to build in the next episode.